Okay, we're cutting across live now to the Isro, where it is all set to launch the X-ray polarimeter satellite, which is the XPoSat, India's grand and historic space launch on New Year, the world's second polarimetry mission.
Stage of PSLV. This being integrated with the core motor, and 2 stages are ready. Here, the PSLV is being transported in its semi-integrated condition from the PSLV launch integration facilities to the mobile service tower.
आपने देखा प्रथम चरण तथा द्वितीय चरण का समायोजन पूर्ण कर यह तृतीय चरण को तथा चतुर्थ चरण को एक साथ समायोजित किया जा रहा है। इस समायोजन को MST मोबाइल सर्विस टावर पर लाया जाता है। सभी कार्य पूर्ण कुशलता तथा दक्षता के साथ संपन्न किए जाते हैं। यह है हमारा PSLV C58 का उपग्रह XPoSat। इसमें 2 मुख्य निदभार हैं, जिसका नाम है XSPECT और POLIX। पूर्ण परीक्षित कर।
Right, so as we stay live with those pictures coming in from Isro, my colleague Pramod Madhav is now joining me with the phone line. Pramod, what can you tell us about this new mission?
So this is a very important. We have been starting to explore the moon and the sun. Now we are going to the very important like things called the cosmic sources, such as black holes, like large neutron stars and like supernova. These are things that are like not even comprehensible to a normal human being's mind. So these are that kind of objects that we are going to explore. And this is where we are going to use 2 kind of sensors in particular in this XPoSat, which are going to actually read and collect data about the X-rays, and that's why it's called XPoSat, X-ray polarimeter satellite. And the main thing is that they are going to also read about the X-rays that are being emitted by a neutron star. That is like a star, that is a core that is being left out after an explosion of a major star, or a black hole, which is when the entire star collapses, it turns out to be a black hole, or like the actual kind of explosion that is called as a supernova. So these are like extremely powerful cosmic things, and from there we are going to collect data which will be used for various we can actually go ahead and detect, get information about the origin of space, or like how these cosmic beings actually react to the surroundings. So this is something completely out of the beings ideas, but Isro has gone ahead and almost competing with NASA. Now we have started to go ahead and this is the 3rd one that Isro has created. Only we had AstroSat, and we also have Aditya L1, which we are expecting to reach the Lagrange point on January 6th. So that is going to observe about the sun and the way the characteristics of the sun. And right now, after finishing an asteroid, a planet, a moon, and a sun, now we are going to much higher beings like the black hole.
Okay, so a very, very ambitious mission there by Isro. Isro is to shortly launch the X-ray polarimeter satellite, which is called the XPoSat. It is India's grand and historic space launch on New Year, the world's only 2nd polarimeter mission. The Indian Space Research Organization, in fact, will be launching the XPoSat from the first launch pad of the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota. In moments from now, the countdown is progressing smoothly, as you see on your screens right now. Those images that are coming in from Isro live this morning. A PSLV DL rocket will be used to launch the satellite into an eastward low inclination orbit. Pramod, I believe, is back with us. Pramod, you were telling us about the significance of this ambitious project.
It absolutely is, and we are going to use this PSLV, the workhorse, and it's going to be the C58, and it's a 60th mission from ISRO, and behind us we have both the SLP and the FLP, but like once a rocket is launched, we can show it exactly because it's been completely covered with mist. It's a wonderful day. Imagine starting the new year with such a launch from ISRO, that too with the workhorse itself. The payload's going to be 469 kilograms, and the rocket should be around 44.4 meters tall, and the thing is that, just like we mentioned earlier, this is something much more advanced, much more important. And like earlier we were speaking to scientists, asking them why they decided to go ahead with only kind of like instruments that can detect X-rays. So we were given information that currently the instrument cluster that is available with like a high technical value would be that these kind of like sensors and measures that can go ahead and detect these X-rays. And so what they're planning to do is that these X-rays will be sent through a medium and they will be polarized, which means the magnetic field and the wavelength will be in a kind of like a synchronous manner, which can be easily detected. And what they're trying to do is that between a certain value, they want to detect these X-rays from the source itself. And the source is a very important aspect, because that's going to be a black hole or a neutron star or a pulsar. A pulsar is a rapidly spinning neutron stars which also emit a lot of radiation, and a supernova, which is like an explosion during kind of when the star explodes. So these are things, imagine like the kind of research that was NASA doing, and now ISRO has also become one of the main important a kind of a contender, going ahead and reading it. In fact, we don't know much about black holes in the sense itself, because even light cannot escape from a black hole, and we are going to planning to read the emission from there, and that is why this mission is not just important for India but for the entire world.
Okay, so this mission isn't just important for India, as Pramod is telling us, it's important for the entire world as well. The study in itself, very ambitious. What are, the scientists over there telling you in terms of what are they expecting to learn from this mission?
Well, certainly, we are going to have two important sensors in the payload. One is called as POLIX and the other one is called as XPEC. And these are the ones, also there is another private institute which is also involved from Bengaluru called as Raman Institute, and they are the ones who have gone ahead with ISRO and they have created these sensors. The main aspect is to read about the X-rays that are being emitted by these cosmic sources. And when we claim cosmic sources, these are much bigger than our own sun, sun, the star. These are much bigger than that, and the important aspect is that imagine a star with a certain mass. If it is below a certain mass, it turns out to be a neutron star, which means that the entire star explodes and the core starts spin rapidly in such a manner that the entire atoms inside that core began to break and the neutrons turn out to be a cluster, and that's why it's called as a neutron star. This also emits a lot of radiation, and if this neutron star starts spinning rapidly, that is called as a pulsar. And it's a very beautiful thing to see, because a pulsar will have a kind of
we're going to cut across Pramod now live to those moments. The countdown has begun.
Nominal flight timelines for the PSLV C58 XPoSat mission. At T0, which is scheduled at 9 hours 10 minutes, the first stage PS1 ignites, and followed by the ignition of the two strap-on motors 400 milliseconds later. The strap-ons continue to burn for 70 seconds, after which they are separated from the ongoing launch vehicle. The PS1 stage, that is the core S139, separates 109 seconds into the flight. By this time, the launch vehicle would have gained an altitude of 57 kilometers and acquired a relative velocity of 1.6 kilometers per second.
All subs sound.
The stage 2 ignites after PS1, continues to burn for 152 seconds. Operational time for PS3 is 124 seconds. PS4 will operate for 247 seconds. Then the injection parameters will be achieved.
Real-time programs activated.
Minus 25 seconds. VSPP opened. Minus 20 seconds. Minus 15 seconds.
प्रमोचन से 15 सेकंड की दूरी पर
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
bright morning of the New Year's Day made brighter by a majestic liftoff. PSLV C-58 carrying India's X-ray polarimetric satellite towards its destination.
जी हाँ, इस वर्ष का प्रथम प्रमोशन श्रीहरिकोटा के प्रथम प्रमोशन मंच से PSLV C-58 का हमने सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन देखा और यह अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर निरंतर बढ़ता हुआ प्रथम चरण का निष्पादन पूरी तरह सामान्य.
Nominal thrusting by PS1 stage. Nominal burn time for the strap-ons is 70 seconds and the core motor for 109 seconds.
इस समय यान अपने अधिकतम गतिक दाब से गुजरता हुआ प्रथम चरण का कुल प्रज्वलन काल 110 सेकंड का होगा. तत्पश्चात इसे यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा.
Sharp's tracking station currently tracking the flight.
Ground lead strap-on separated.
दोनों स्ट्रेपॉन्स को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा कोर बूस्टर अभी भी प्रज्वलित है.
Presently the core S139 motor alone thrusting. The strap-ons have been separated.
Normal.
This stage will carry the rocket to 57 kilometers altitude and add 1.6 kilometers per second as a relative velocity.
इस घटनाक्रम पे अगला है प्रथम चरण का पृथकन तथा द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन.
First stage separated. Second stage engine started. Closed loop guidance initiated.
जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है. प्रथम चरण को सफलतापूर्वक यान से पृथक किया गया है और द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है.
There is a confirmation from the range operations director that the second stage has commenced its operation.
Second stage performance normal.
And as the altitude right now is almost at the verge of the dense atmosphere, closed loop guidance has been initiated. The next flight event is eagerly awaited. The next flight event is payload fairing separation.
द्वितीय चरण का निष्पादन सामान्य है. इसका कार्यकाल 152 सेकंड का होगा और इस दौरान यह कुल 800 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर यान को उद्दिष्ट दिशा की ओर ले जाता है. इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है. ऊष्मा कवच को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है.
Second stage performance normal.
There is a confirmation of payload fairing separation and a nominal thrusting by the second stage of PSLV.
द्वितीय चरण तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है. इसमें UDMH और N2O4 को ईंधन की तरह इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. वर्तमान में विकास इंजन नामक इस द्वितीय चरण के इंजन द्वारा प्रणोद उत्पन्न किया जा रहा है.
By the time PS2 completes its operation, the altitude of the launch vehicle will be 161 kilometers and relative velocity of 4.5 kilometers per second. Current altitude close to 150 kilometers.
Second stage performance normal. Plus 4 minutes.
यान पूरी तरह अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण करता हुआ.
Shah tracking station continues to track.
Second stage separated. Third stage ignited.
द्वितीय चरण को सफलतापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा ठोस नोदक वाले तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है.
Third stage performance normal.
The performance of third stage is reported to be nominal. The PS3 stage based on this HTPB based solid propellant. It carries 7.6 tons of propellant.
यान की ऊंचाई निरंतर बढ़ती हुई वर्तमान में यह 170 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर चुका है तथा सापेक्ष गति 5 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड। तृतीय चरण HPS-3 हाई परफॉर्मेंस थर्ड स्टेज कुल 240 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है और यान को उद्दिष्ट दिशा की ओर ले जा रहा है।
Shar and Port Blair tracking stations are currently tracking the vehicle trajectory.
Third stage performance normal.
During the operation of PS-3, the rocket gains an altitude of 45 kilometers. Relative velocity increases from 4.5 kilometers per second to 7.2 kilometers per second.
तृतीय चरण में कुल 7.66 टन का प्रणोद होता है और इसका कार्यकाल 123 सेकंड का होगा। इसके कार्यकाल के पश्चात PS-3 का कोस्टिंग फेज शुरू हो चुका होगा। सभी दर्शकगण यहां उत्साहित इस मिशन के सफलता के लिए अब कुछ ही क्षणों में हम देखेंगे तृतीय चरण।
Third stage action completed.
तृतीय चरण का कार्यकाल समाप्त हो चुका है और इसके पश्चात
Vehicle
ही
in combined hosting for approximately 200 seconds.
इसके साथ ही तृतीय तथा चतुर्थ चरण सम्मिलित होकर कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है।
There is a confirmation of expected performance by the PS-3 stage, and currently the thrust has been cut off, but the vehicle is coasting with the PS-3 still intact. The separation of PS-3 has not yet taken place.
Vehicle performance normal.
जी हाँ, यह कोस्टिंग फेज 200 सेकंड्स तक जारी रहेगा। उसके पश्चात तृतीय चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
The combined coasting continues for 200 seconds. Thereafter, the separation of PS-3 takes place, but PS-4 continues to coast for another 400 seconds. During the coasting phase of flight, the relative velocity reduces from 7.2 kilometers per second to 6.7 kilometers per second, and as a result, close to 400 kilometers increase will be observed in the altitude.
XPoSat विभिन्न खगोलीय विकिरण उत्सर्जन स्रोतों जैसे ब्लैक होल, न्यूट्रॉन तारे, सक्रिय आकाशगंगा, नाभिक, पल्सर पवन, निहारिका आदि से उत्सर्जित उत्पन्न जटिल प्रक्रियाओं द्वारा होता है और इसे समझना खगोलविदों के लिए भी एक चुनौती बना हुआ है। एक्सरे पोलैरिमीटर हमारी समझ में दो और आयाम जोड़ेंगे। यह है ध्रुवीकरण की मात्रा तथा ध्रुवीकरण का कोण, और इस तरह यह खगोलीय स्रोतों से उत्सर्जन प्रक्रियाओं को समझने में उत्कृष्ट निदान उपकरण साबित होंगे। XPoSat द्वारा भारतीय विज्ञान समुदाय की राह पर यह एक प्रमुख अनुसंधान की दिशा है। XPoSat में दो मुख्य वैज्ञानिक निदभार हैं जिनका नाम है पॉलिक्स और एक्सिस्पेक्ट। इस उपग्रह का कुल भार 469 kg है। इस मिशन में लगभग 145 केजी के वैज्ञानिक निदभार अंतरिक्ष प्रयोगों के लिए सफर कर रहे हैं। इन्हें अंतरिक्ष प्रयोग पोयम 3 का नाम दिया गया है। सर्वप्रथम पोयम PSLV ऑर्बिट एक्सपेरिमेंट मॉड्यूल का सफल प्रयोग 30 जून 2022 को PSLV C53 द्वारा देखा गया था। फिर 22 अप्रैल 2023 को PSLV C55 द्वारा पोयम 2 का प्रयोग भी हमने देखा। आज इसी कड़ी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए पोयम 3 के प्रयोग किए जाएंगे।
Third stage separated.
जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है। तृतीय चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है।
Vehicle in separated hosting for approximately 425 seconds.
Plus 10 minutes.
तृतीय चरण के पृथक्करण के पश्चात चतुर्थ चरण के प्रज्वलन में अभी समय है और इस दौरान PS4 का कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है। यह करीब 400 सेकंड तक जारी रहेगा।
The PS4 is currently not operational, though it is in the coasting phase, which will continue for 425 seconds in all.
Vehicle performance normal.
The PS4 stage, when it ignites, will continue to burn for 247.5 seconds. Thereafter, the injection parameters of the spacecraft XPoSat will be achieved. After injection of the primary satellite, PS4 has yet another milestone to accomplish. It lowers to an orbit of 350 kilometers. After XPoSat injection, this orbit will be at 9.6 degrees inclination, which is achieved through 2 restarts. These maneuvers are expected to take 83 minutes from the XPoSat injection. Once in the new orbit, PS4 will be subjected to passivation by venting remnant propellants and depressurizing the stage tanks. Thereafter, the control of stage is transferred to POEM avionics.
Vehicle performance normal.
There are 10 payloads in POEM, 7 of which are finalized through in space. Speaking about the payloads that POEM carries, Radiation Shielding Experiments Module (RSEM) is designed by a firm called Take Me to Space for evaluation of effectiveness of tantalum coating. The second payload, Women Engineered Satellite or VSAT for solar irradiance and UV index from LBS Institute of Technology for Women. Third payload is an amateur radio satellite, BeliefSat-O from KJ Somaya Institute of Technology. Fourth payload is again a CubeSat called Green Impulse Transmitter from Inspacity Space Labs Private Limited. LEAP TD from Dhruva Space Private Limited to demonstrate subsystems for microsatellite. 2 payloads are there from Pelatrix Aerospace Private Limited, which are named Rudra 0.3 HPGP and Arca 200. 3 more payloads are from Isro. The one from Physical Research Laboratory is called the Dust Experiment. 2 more from Vikram Sarabhai Space Centre. One will be called as Fuel Cell Power System and the other is silicon-based high energy cells. These are the payloads from ISRO.
जहां भारत में सभी नववर्ष के स्वागत के लिए जश्न और मनोरंजन में लगे हुए थे, वहीं इसरो के वैज्ञानिक PSLV C58 प्रमोशन की तैयारियों में जुटे हुए थे। इनकी गतिविधियों को अंतिम रूप देने में लगे हुए थे। सफल मिशन के ध्येय से सराबोर इसरो के वैज्ञानिक इस वर्ष का आरंभ खगोलीय समझ को और बढ़ाने के उद्देश्य से PSLV C58 के प्रमोशन में कार्यरत हैं। वर्तमान में यान की ऊंचाई 516 किलोमीटर, XPoSat की अंतक्षेपण की कक्षा 650 किलोमीटर के करीब होगी। वर्तमान में सापेक्ष गति 6.86 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड। इस उपग्रह XPoSat के 2 मुख्य नितभार हैं। पोलिक्स, यह 8 से 30 किलो इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट की ऊर्जा बैंड में खगोलीय प्रेक्षणों के लिए एक एक्स-रे ध्रुवणमापी है। इस नितभार को URSC और रमन रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट बैंगलोर द्वारा संयुक्त रूप से विकसित किया गया है। इस यंत्र में एक कॉलीमीटर, एक प्रकीर्णन और 4 एक्सरे अनुपातित काउंटर डिटेक्टर लगे हुए हैं। इस प्रकीर्णन को कम परमाणु द्रव्यमान वाले पदार्थ से बनाया गया है, जो आने वाली
Vehicle
ध्रुवीकृत
performance
एक्सरे का
normal.
विषमदैशिक थॉमस प्रकीर्णन करता है, ताकि एक समय में इस कॉलीमीटर के दृष्टि क्षेत्र को 3/3 डिग्री से सीमित किया गया है, ताकि एक समय में एक ही स्रोत उज्जवल हो सके। इस नितभार के 5 सालों के जीवन काल में 40 चमकीले खगोलीय स्रोतों का प्रेक्षण करने की अपेक्षा है। यह मध्यम एक्सरे ऊर्जा बैंड का पहला नितभार है जो ध्रुवण मापन के लिए समर्पित है। इसके अलावा एक और नितभार एक्सस्पेक्ट एक एक्सरे स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी और टाइमिंग नितभार है जो एक्सपोसेट में जा रहा है। यह सॉफ्ट एक्सरे स्पेक्ट्रम में त्वरित समय तथा संवर्धित स्पेक्ट्रम विभेदन प्रदान करेगा। यह पॉलिक्स का डेटा को इस्तेमाल करते हुए निरंतर उत्सर्जन में वर्णक्रमीय स्थिति परिवर्तन, लाइन फ्लक्स और प्रोफाइल में परिवर्तन, 0.8 से 15 किलो इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट्स रेंज में उत्सर्जन की लंबी अवधि में निगरानी कर सकता है।
Vehicle performance normal.
इसमें कोलीमीटर का उपयोग पृष्ठभूमि को कम करने के लिए एक्सस्पेक्ट के दृश्य क्षेत्र को कम किया गया है। एक्सस्पेक्ट विभिन्न स्रोतों जैसे एक्सरे, पल्सर, ब्लैक होल, लो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, न्यूट्रॉन स्टार और मैग्नेटार्स आदि खगोलीय स्रोतों का निरीक्षण कर सकेगा। कोस्टिंग फेज समाप्ति की ओर।
Stage engine started.
There's a confirmation that the fourth stage has commenced its operation. We are
Plus 17 minutes.
17 minutes into the launch. Current altitude is 606 kilometers.
Fourth stage performance normal.
चतुर्थ चरण जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित इंजन है, एमएमएच और मॉन ईंधन के रूप में इस्तेमाल करते हुए यह 14.66 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है। इसमें ऐसे 2 इंजन लगे हुए हैं। वर्तमान ऊंचाई 615 किलोमीटर, सापेक्ष गति 6.7 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड। चतुर्थ चरण वह अंतिम चरण है जो उपग्रह के अंतःक्षेपण की स्थितियां प्राप्त कर उपग्रह को उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में अंतःक्षेपित करेगा।
The fourth stage is based on liquid propellant. The propellant loading is 1.6 tons. The fuel is monomethyl hydrazine and oxidizer is mixed oxides of nitrogen. Presently, the tracking stations at Brunei and Bayak are tracking the launch vehicle.
चतुर्थ चरण को PSLV ऑर्बिटल एक्सपेरिमेंट मॉड्यूल के रूप में भी इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा, जो कि यह कक्षा में कुछ दिन उसी कक्षा में रहते हुए प्रयोग के लिए उपयोग में लाया जाएगा। एक्सपोसैट उपग्रह का प्रक्षेपण 650 किलोमीटर की चक्राकार कक्षा में किया जाना है। इसके पश्चात चतुर्थ चरण को बंद कर दिया जाएगा तथा कुछ समय बाद पुनः प्रज्वलित कर यान की कक्षा को कम किया जाएगा। यह 650 किलोमीटर से 350 किलोमीटर की कक्षा पर लाया जाएगा तथा यहां ऑर्बिटल एक्सपेरिमेंट्स का प्रयोग शुरू किया जाएगा।
Fourth stage performance normal.
सभी बेसब्री से इंतजार करते हुए कक्षीय स्थितियां प्राप्त होते ही उपग्रह एक्सपोसैट को अंतःक्षेपित किया जाएगा।
The fourth stage of PSLV currently thrusting.
Plus 20 minutes.
PSLV C58 के चतुर्थ चरण PS4 को त्रैअक्षीय स्थिर कक्षीय मंच के लिए तैयार किया गया है। इस मंच से कई महत्वपूर्ण और नवीन अंतरिक्ष प्रयोगों को कार्यान्वित किया जाएगा। इसमें सोलर पैनल्स लगे हुए हैं जो कि 50 एम्पियर आवर के लिथियम आयन बैटरी को आवेशित करते हैं। इसमें नेविगेशन, गाइडेंस, कंट्रोल और टेलीकमांड, कक्षीय आवृत्ति नियंत्रण तंत्र जैसे एवियोनिक्स सिस्टम भी लगे हुए हैं। यह पोयम की श्रृंखला में तृतीय प्रयोग है।
We are very close to the scheduled XPoSat injection time.
जी हाँ, लगभग कक्षीय स्थितियां प्राप्त की जा चुकी हैं। अब किसी भी क्षण XPoSat को कक्षा में अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा। चतुर्थ चरण को निर्धारित रूप से बंद कर दिया गया है।
Satellite injection conditions are achieved.
Eagerly awaiting the next event.
उचित अभिवृत्ति प्राप्त करते हुए यान तत्पश्चात XPoSat को अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा। मुख्य उद्देश्य के प्राप्त होने के पश्चात प्रयोगात्मक क्रिया जारी रहेगी।
Satellite separated.
And there is a confirmation that the XPoSat satellite has been separated.
जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है रेंज ऑपरेशन डायरेक्टर द्वारा। XPoSat को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है।
But mission is continuing for PS4 orbit platform experiment, that is POEM 3, with 2 phases of 4-stage restart. After 2 phases of restart, PS4 stage orbit will be changed to 350 km circular. The first phase for PS4 restart happens in non-visibility period. The second phase of PS4 restart takes place in the visibility period of Trivandrum in orbit 2. During the non-availability period, ground trace will be updated by extrapolation on the video wall. The non-visibility period is approximately 4,500 seconds. All the stations involved in operation shall continue in positions. Handing over to mission director.
आपने ऑनबोर्ड कैमरे की मदद से देखा XPoSat और यह खूबसूरत पृथ्वी का नजारा।
Has injected XPoSat primary satellite into the desired orbit. We will be continuing the operations. 2 more PS4 restarts are planned, and the POEM 3 operations will be following. Approximately the T0 will come around 2 hours after liftoff. Thank you.
अब इसके पश्चात हम आपको अध्यक्षीय संबोधन के लिए ले चलते हैं और हम आपसे आज्ञा लेते हैं।
First day of the year, first launch mission for ISRO. This success matters much more in view of the rich data that XPoSat will give to the scientific community in the field of astronomy. Congratulations, Team ISRO. Do stand by for the address by Secretary TOS and Chairman ISRO, Sri S. Somnath. We take leave from you. Goodbye.
Of course, was history created yet again by Team ISRO. A successful launch of the XPoSat over there. You can see, of course, the team there congratulating each other. Shortly, we'll be hearing from the chairman of ISRO as well as Somnath, telling us about this mission, which stage it is at. There are many more stages, of course, that it will be covering in the course of this mission. But already, of course, congratulations pouring in for ISRO on the first day of the new year. A successful launch.
So happy new year to all of you. So on 1st January 2024, yet another successful mission of PSLV has been accomplished. PSLV C58 has placed the primary satellite XPoSat in the desired orbit of 650 kilometer, 6-degree inclination. and we'll be waiting for the exact orbital parameters that will just now come. And we are also waiting for the satellite to have its solar panel deployed. That also will come in a few seconds from now. From this point, the orbit of the PSLV 4th stage will be reduced to a lower orbit, where the upper stage of the PSLV, which is now described as POEM, PSLV Orbital Experimental Module, will carry out experiments with 9 of the onboard payloads. And that will take some time, and we will come back to listen to all of that, what happened in the POEM experiments little later. Meantime, let me also announce the orbit that has been accomplished, which is available through various routes. It shows excellent orbit, and the deviations from the targeted orbit is hardly just 3 kilometers in circular orbit of 650 kilometer, and inclination is 001 degree, which is one of the very excellent orbital condition. And yet another announcement is the solar panel of the satellite also has been deployed successfully. So with this, the new year has begun with the launch of PSLV. We have an exciting time ahead. Much before telling all of that, let me invite the mission director to have its words. Mr. Jayakumar is the mission director.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm extremely happy to stand here to celebrate the grand success of the 60th launch of PSLV. As you all know, XPoSat is a space observatory, but what makes this mission more interesting is the host of new technologies that are getting demonstrated in the POEM-3 experiment. We have fuel cell, we have the silicon-based 10 ampere hour high energy battery, green monopropellant thrusters, amateur radio satellite service, and more important, a totally women-engineered satellite for the comparison of solar irradiance and UV index. This, I think, showcases women empowerment in the field of science and technology, and all the payloads, in fact, demonstrate the reforms that are currently sweeping the Indian space sector. But today's success has been made possible by the tremendous efforts put in by a whole group of people from Team Isro, along with other stakeholders. This mission would not have been possible but for the wholehearted effort put in by various teams, the SDAs and SR agencies spread across different centers, starting from SDSC, URSC, STRAC, LPSC, IPRC, VSSC, IISU, LEOS, and also ISRO headquarters. I would also like to thank InSpace for acting as a nodal agency in identifying the payloads for POEM-3 and all the NGEs for delivering the various payloads adhering to our schedule. Let me also thank our industry partners for delivering quality products for the realization of the launch vehicle. Let me take this opportunity to thank Chairman ISRO for the mentoring and the guidance provided, and all center directors. Specifically, I would like to thank Chairman and members of MRR, FRR, LV, and ORC, Padmamar sir, Ashok sir and Shuja sir. They have taken extensive reviews, and all the DRTs for clearing the various systems. Also the admin and the auxiliary services who have supported. I would also like to thank my own project team, especially Vehicle Director Damodaran, Associate Vehicle Director Joyce Jose, all the DPDs, the other team members, and the Project Management Office who has been effectively managing the campaign activities. Finally, I thank our family members for the support they provided to make our missions successful. Wishing all of you a happy and a successful new year. Good day. Jai Hind.
Now the satellite director.
Good morning all. As Chairman sir announced, I'm happy to announce that satellite is placed in intended orbit flawlessly, and satellite health is normal. Solar panels are deployed and battery charging already started. And this is the unique mission, XPoSat. It is a unique mission, and this is first mission worldwide to have a study of polarized X-ray sources, and the second mission for polarization. So first time we will be this mission will give the polarization aspects of high energy cosmic sources and in medium energy band, and this will study magnetic field distribution in cosmic sources, and how magnetic field means originating, and alignment of these cosmic sources like black holes and this pulsar wind and sources, and all these cosmic sources. So it will be the extreme and experiment for our scientific community. Once this mission is commissioned, it will be very fruitful for scientific community worldwide. And I take this opportunity to thank Chairman Isro, Central Director URSC, all Central Directors for making this mission possible by their support and guidance. And special thanks to my former project directors, Sri Amreshwar Kenneth, Sri K. Suresh, and Sri Dr. Palani Murugan for leading this mission in different stages of realization. And special thanks to my project team, project executive across the center, and payload team from Raman Research Institute and the Space Astronomy Group of URSC for their relentless effort for making this mission possible and realizing on time. And my special thanks to entire review committee for their guidance and support throughout the mission. And special thanks to industry partners and URSC team for their invaluable contributions for these missions. Now we are waiting for successful commissioning of these missions, and I am really privileged and honored to be part of this mission. I thanks everyone, and I wish happy and prosperous New Year's to all of you. Thank you.
I'll now request the key center directors who have contributed immensely for the successful mission of this PSLV XPoSat mission. So first let me invite the director of the VSSC.
Very good morning and a happy new year. 2023 was the 60th year of first sounding rocket that we launched from Tumba. So 60 years of rocketry, and PSLV is turning 60. And what a great takeoff on this New Year day with the successful launch of PSLV C58 XPoSat mission. So apart from the main satellite, already project director has mentioned about the other payloads. There are some important payloads like fuel cell, which we will be demonstrating in the POEM phase, that is the subsequent phase when PS4 is used as a platform. And that POEM fuel cell will have potential application in our future missions like space station. So I wish Happy New Year, as well as I congratulate the entire Isro launch vehicle centers, especially Vikram Sarabhai Space Centre and all other launch vehicle centers, and wish all the very best to the satellite team and all the payloads in POEM in the subsequent operation. Thank you.
So that is, of course, what Team Isro is saying about that very successful mission that was launched just a few moments ago. You heard from the chairman S. Somnath as well. A successful launch of the XPoSat into orbit. A bright New Year morning made even brighter by this liftoff from the Sriharikota Space Centre, the Satish Dhawan Space Centre at Sriharikota. An early morning for the scientists at Isro, but a successful launch over there, which they're briefing the media about right now. Of course, there'll be many more stages to this XPoSat launch, but you can hear that it has successfully launched itself into the orbit as intended. Isro, they're welcoming the new year with this successful mission after a very, very successful 2023 as well, with the Chandrayaan 3 mission and the launch of Aditya L1 as well. This is what Isro has to say about this mission, the XPoSat mission, which is another historic space launch, which is also the world's second polarimetry mission.